Welcome back to Casual Buys Rugby. The box squad has been announced to take on the All Blacks at Twickenham. And my oh my, we've almost done exactly what I wanted. A couple of changes in the team. Some people playing in different positions just to get some meters under their legs. Test them out in different positions for chemistry, for in case there's an injury. I mean, with the changes, it takes away no excitement that I have for the game. It might sound bad, but I'm not too bothered about the end of the game scoreline. If we win or lose, I wouldn't be too bothered. I'm more focused on these players getting their chemistry right, getting their flow right. Of course, these guys are going to go out and win the game. Of course, I would prefer us to win the game. But I mean, after all, I just want us to have a good game, see the chemistry, see the guys flowing together. Of course, not a lot of them have played together, and that's the reason that I'm saying this. But anyway, geez, I fell over my words. Let's get into it. As always, starting off with the front row, exactly the same as last weekend. Steven Kitshoff, Malcolm Marx, and Frans Beherbe. I mean, it's just brute force. To be honest, these are the three guys that absolutely slaughtered Wales last weekend. And I'm not trying to be cocky. These guys are absolutely brilliant. Maybe that's a bit better. These guys are absolutely brilliant, world class, no issues there. Personally, I would have just switched the bench and the starters around, just switch them around every time. I am a bit afraid because these guys have been playing the whole time that if there's an injury, we are in trouble. But I mean, no real issues. I just realized Vincent Koch is not on the bench for these guys. It's Trevor Nyakane, who in my opinion is a bit better, but I mean, Vincent Koch is still elite when it comes to his impact from the bench. Moving on, we go into the locks. We got Eben Etzebeth, Franco Mostert. Personally, I would have gone with Eben Etzebeth and Marvin Ori. No issues there, to be honest. No issues with Franco Mostert. I've said it a million times. I prefer him from the bench, him and Kwaga, just for the impact that they have. But I mean, you can't go wrong with Eben Etzebeth, Franco Mostert. I'm not even sure what the reason was that Eben didn't start the game last weekend. But I mean, John Klein played out of his socks. Ergen Snyman played out of his socks. Overall, I just think this is some more game time for Franco Mostert. I think overall, Ergen Snyman has got that 5 jersey on lockdown at the moment. Very surprised that Marvin Ori isn't playing. But I mean, we move on. No real issues. And I'm very excited to say CI is getting another game, which means he gets at least 2 games, 2 run-outs before the World Cup, which is absolutely crucial for us. I mean, a lot of people would say, yeah, he's overrated on the field, maybe he's overrated in his captaincy or whatever. I think last weekend just showed you exactly what we were missing, the impact that he brings, whether that is with his captaincy or with his ball carrying ability or anything on the field. He was absolutely brilliant. He could have had a man of the match performance and just played the 40 minutes, which is crazy to think about it. I think he's going to play another 40 minutes, just straight up play the 40 minutes and then get subbed, because you don't want him chasing the ball and then losing his knees while running. So very excited to see CI again, and of course partnering him, Pieter-Steph du Toit and Dwayne Vermeulen. Pieter-Steph du Toit has been looking like the form Pieter-Steph that came from the 2019 World Cup. Very excited to see him again. I mean, since the start of the Rugby Championship, he's been a different player, because before that, his spot was in question. To be honest with you, there was a lot of players that were pushing to get that position, but I think he's just put it on absolute lockdown. His performances have been absolutely brilliant. Last weekend, my man of the match personally, I just think he's an absolute workhorse. Like, the guy he's non-stop. He looks like he's going to die every time he gets the ball, or if the camera is showing on him, because he always looks out of breath, but he just never stops. He keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going. I've got a feeling like Pieter-Steph might be a bit stupid. Like, he's one of those guys that gets so tired, but he's almost like too stupid to know that he's getting tired. You know, you get some of those people, and that's what I think about Pieter-Steph, and that's why we love him. Pieter-Steph, brilliant. Dwayne Vermeulen, I mean, experience in that number 8 jersey. As I said in the match review for last weekend's game, Jasper Wiese didn't really do himself any favours, to be honest. I don't think he had a bad game, but I mean, competing with Dwayne, you have to have outstanding games week on week on week, and I think it is the right decision to back Dwayne Vermeulen here. I've been calling that we have to back Jasper, but he's been backed a couple of games now. played very well against Argentina in the second game, but he had a couple of quiet games now, and I think Dwayne has been absolutely brilliant since his return. I think Dwayne has realised it's his final World Cup. That last bit of energy is coming out, which is very exciting to see. Now, moving on to the back line, and this is where the excitement begins, but it begins with shittiness. I want to bleach my eyes every time I see this combination, and this is nothing against Faf and Marnie. Literally nothing. I love Faf, I love Marnie. I don't love them together. Like, I would have gone with Reinach and Marnie, or I had someone else play on the 10 position. I know we don't have anyone else, so it's a stupid statement, but these two they don't combine well for me. I don't know, maybe it's a controversial opinion, but every time I mention it, people agree. So, I just don't see Faf and Marnie as a system playing well together. Like, Marnie was brilliant with Jaden Hendrikse, Kobus Reinach, even Grant Williams fitting perfectly with his system. I just think, if you play Faf, you have to play Handré. They complement each other brilliantly, and Marnie complements, especially Reinach, brilliantly. But I mean, moving on, hopefully we can get something clicking there, because that's probably our starting lineup in the big games against Scotland, Ireland, those type of stuff. So I need these guys to click. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, long ride. I wonder who's going to take the kicking duties. Because if Faf's going to take the kicking duties, you just know he's got that 9 jersey on lockdown. Which means he's going to start every game and take the kicking role. And he might be taking the kicking role, or because he's starting every game, that's why he's kicking as well. So that's just a tell. Let me know what you think about it. But moving on, and this is the excitement. I mean, we have injured, and we played Jesse like 2 games. Okay, and Jesse has been absolutely brilliant. He's got the 13 jersey on lockdown, easy. But we need depth there, because we can't back someone to get injured and hopefully is fine, and then they push him back into the squad. And Caden Moody, apparently in his whole school rugby career, played on the outside centre position. And he's slotted in that outside centre position. I'm very excited for this. I've mentioned it a couple of times that's what I want to see. And he's got Andre Estreisen on his inside. Because if Damien de Linde there, he wouldn't have seen the ball. Okay? Damien de Linde, class, but he doesn't pass. So we got Andre Estreisen, Caden Moody. And I mean, I love that. I love the fact that they're going to go up against Jordy Barrett and Rico Ioane, 2 world-class centre pairing on their first game. So it's thrown into the deep end and say, listen, we back you to do this. Do a job for us. Just try your best. See what you can bring to the table. And I appreciate that. I really love the bold decision-making. The game in the end counts for nothing. Nothing wrong with this. I back this decision 110%. Moving on, we got Makazolo Mapimpi, Kurtley Arendse on the wings. No issues. Those are the same 2 guys I would have gone with just to get them more game time. I mean, Cheslin Colby, we know he's a fragile guy. He's the best wing in the world, but he is fragile. Play him one game. Don't play him against the All Blacks. I don't want to see injuries in this game. That's why I wanted to play a totally rotated team, and that's what we did. Makazolo Mapimpi on the other wing. Class, it's almost said the World Cup pairing. But I mean, Kurtley Arendse will feel hard done by, because Moody is probably above him in the picking order, and you can't drop Cheslin Colby. And Kurtley Arendse has got like 11 tries in 8 games, which is absolutely ridiculous. Damon Willemse, surprised he's playing. I thought like there was a rule, a HIA test, that keeps you out for at least a week, but he is starting in that 15 jersey. Manie Lebok just lifts his game every time that Willemse is on the field, so very excited to see this from the start. Obviously, we know Willie Leroux is the prime starter in that 15 jersey, but we need some game time for Willemse as well. Slot him into that 15 jersey, no issues there. Moving on to the bench, the bomb squad, we got the 6-2 split. We got Bongi Manambi, Oxenche, Trevor Nurkane. I mean, they absolutely killed Wales coming from the bench. I know Vincent Koch was there, scrummed them inside out, turned them out. I mean, it was almost a nightmare, or a nightmare for Wales. It was scary to watch. I thought like someone's going to die and lose their neck or something. But I mean, moving on, you got John Klein, Erge Snyman, Marco van Staren to finish off the back row, the front row on the bench. Surprised that we went with John Klein and Erge Snyman, which means we're going to probably replace Evan Etzebeth. And then I'm curious to see where Erge comes on. Are they going to shift Erge into that 5 jersey and then have Mostert going to the flanks, or is it just going to be a straight swap? And then, of course, Marco van Staden will probably replace Siya Kolisi after 40 minutes. Moving on to the bench, you got Kobus Reinach, Willie Leroux. Kobus should have started, but I mean, the guy is very exciting. He's by far the best 9 in the green and gold, in my opinion. And then, of course, Willie Leroux to come on from the bench, probably come on for anyone, to be honest. And then Willemse just slots in somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if Willie Leroux probably came on for someone like Mapimpi, Kurtley Arendse, or Kanan Moody, which means he goes to fullback then, and then the other one goes to the wing, and then you have Damon Willemse in that 12 jersey and Andre Esterhuizen maybe in the 13 jersey. I would not be surprised if we saw something like that. It just came to my head. I didn't think about that earlier, but I mean, let me know what you think about it. See you tomorrow.